Hey there YouTube, and welcome back to the channel. I've been going a long time. Many things needed squared away. I won't go into a long and lengthy story as to where I've been or what I've been up to, but suffice to say, there's been a lot going on with gold, with precious metals in general, with the market, with Bitcoin. And I may take a moment to talk about Bitcoin and what's transpired with that cryptocurrency, and why I think there's the potential of more pain to come. But before we get into that, this is to review the 2018 ZSIN Canis. And for those of you who are into this collection, this happens to be the coin that was most elusive. I think this sold out very quickly. And I'm not sure what the appeal was for this particular piece, why it was so popular. But it was very popular, and for a very long time you could not find it. This is the second design in the 12 Guardians ZSIN series. So I'll read a little description. It says, Canis is perhaps the most fearsome of God's generals. He is always found at the front of the army as it prepares for battle and serves as a spearhead for the forces as they head out to face the enemy. So he paves the way for the remaining forces. So for the population of NGC certified Canis pieces, I think they're very, very low. I probably should have taken a look before I started this video, but I think there are less than 20 that have been NGC registered, and I think there are less than 10 that are certified as MS-70. If you aren't familiar, this the South Korea, the Comsco pieces, they have that unique and distinguished to their coins, that little emblem right here that shows you the quality, this being 999. It's like a reflective hologram. And then when you turn it a certain angle, it will give you the symbol for gold to tell you that it's gold. And I don't know if the glass is what's affecting it. I think it is. Let me see. There you go. You probably have to strain your eyes a little bit, and I apologize for that, but as you can see, AU is the chemical symbol for gold on the periodic table. And that is the shield of the Chiwu collection. A lot of detail in it. And as I mentioned before, I think this series is very hot. And you may be able to look online and you'll find probably all of the recently released pieces from 1 through, I want to say 6 maybe, that they're up to. But what makes this series, in my opinion, incredibly unique is first the diameter. It's 40 millimeter. 40. And I don't see why other producers of precious metal bullion can't adopt a similar philosophy of taking advantage of more of a landscape. Now, I know that, I've done some reading about micro minting and precious metal imprinting, and how the thinner the piece that you're imprinting on, the more delicate I guess you have to be. But if South Korea can do it, everyone else can do it. And I think that having a larger piece makes it feel more tangible. And perhaps, and I don't want to generalize here, but perhaps there was a perspective that will make the silver pieces larger to make them feel more tangible, since that metal is at a lower price point. And I guess I could see that, the psychoanalytics of that relative to collectors, but I think 40 millimeter is fantastic, and I think every coin should be produced at a minimum at that diameter. If you can see, and I'll see if I can zoom in a little bit here. The edge is smooth, non-reeded edge. Bitcoin. I honestly don't know where to start with it. As many of you know, if you've watched any of my videos, and I happen to speak about Bitcoin, I have a philosophy regarding digital currency that is, for lack of a better term, negative. I'm not convinced by any means that there is substantive, tangible value in digital currency. And some people have begun to call it digital gold, but that's not what it is. And for anyone who's new to Bitcoin, Bitcoin isn't rooted in a value. It isn't backed by anything. It's digitized. So whatever that value has, that's what's assigned in a sense to your coin or coins that are being sold. And I know this, I've taken a look at the algorithm, and it's all based on number of investors, and it's a lot of what I would consider fluff maybe. But it took a substantial hit. I don't even want to call it recently, but from where Bitcoin was in June of this year at 11,743, that was at its highest peak, June 25th. It has dropped as of yesterday, December 27th, to 7,259. So that's a 4,000 point drop, roughly. And that's significant. It's significant. And I've heard the experts, the analysts speak about what was consequential to that loss in Bitcoin value. And I think it stems from liquidation. Bitcoin is one of the few investment platforms where liquidation can just throw the index into an incredible turmoil. First, you just never know who owns incredibly large positions, what reasoning they may have to liquidate those positions or part of it. But you become, and I don't want to use the word victim, but in a sense, you're a victim of their decisions and then I guess that is applicable to any investment, whether it be equities, securities, and treasury yields. But Bitcoin is more synonymous with churns that are extremely large, transactions that are extremely large, and as a consequence, the effect on the index is extremely large. If you are invested in Bitcoin, I can't even say with a professional perspective, and I would consider myself a securities professional, that it's bottomed out. That now is the time, after a 4,000 point loss, to pursue an investment in digital currency. I think we haven't seen the end of it. I think all the speculation about Bitcoin being a nefarious medium for criminals to hide ill-gotten gains, Facebook and the challenges they're facing to pursue a legitimate backed digital currency, I think all serve as negative headwinds for Bitcoin heading into 2020. Now, I caveat that a little bit to say the market is in a strange place. Yes, it's been appreciating in crazy dollar amounts that you just wouldn't imagine. But I think that there is a underlying issue with the U.S. economy that will eventually pierce Wall Street and the market. And a consequence of that will be a market fall across all three indexes, the S&P, NASDAQ and the Dow. Yeah, I know they've hit the NASDAQ just reached a new record high, breaching 9,000, and the Dow has been hitting new highs just about every day. And in addition to that, because the U.S. tax breaks for commercial entities allows so much of a return to be retained, that you'll probably even see more stock buybacks in the commercial realm affecting the appreciation of these indexes. Well, it'll look like that there is no problem. But I assure you, there is an issue. And if you are questioning whether that be true or not, just watch the appreciation of gold and how it's appreciated, and not just gold, platinum and palladium, how they've appreciated 30, 40, 50% despite the market still going up and hitting new highs. So you may see some movement as that circumstance begins to materialize. You'll see people starting to reinvest back into Bitcoin. Again, it's just another hedge against the market, just like gold and other precious metals are. But I think because digital currency and Bitcoin specifically have taken a turn for the worse, inexplicably turned for the worse, you will see more of that hedging occur in gold and precious metals. So that's my stint on Bitcoin. I say watch it closely, please. And before you think it's hit the bottom, watch it again. I love this this piece. I love all the Chi Wu Zixing pieces. I think are exceptionally done. In fact, if you look at the side on here, this sheen, and I talk about it all the time, right around there, that gives it this this velvety gloss. And I'm sorry, the glass just doesn't really portray that the way I'd like it to. But there you go. All right, I hope you've enjoyed this one. I'm sorry I've been going so long. Priorities first. Remember that, guys. Priorities first. As much as I love making these videos. Oh, and by the way, you know, and I've gotten many questions about what do I do for a living. I work in regulatory compliance and analytics. These coins don't belong to me. They belong to clients, and the owners are kind enough to have these coins retrieved for my benefit so that I can showcase them for you on YouTube. And as I've mentioned many times before, they have some incredibly spectacular pieces. We're going to finish up on this series. I think there are 3 more coins that we need to take a look at, which we will. I think that's a very nice touch. Alright guys, I am very appreciative of the time you took to watch this video. I hope you enjoyed it. There is much more to come. My apologies for the delay and the long interim period of no video presentations for you guys, but more uploads to come. If you have any questions, leave them in the comments. I do my very best to get back to everyone in a prompt manner. And please, enjoy the rest of your day. and Happy New Year.